This is you. These are your cold iron bars, and this is your jail cell. You have, whether you know it or not, committed crimes punishable by death, and it's not looking good for you. If the judge is as tough as you've heard, you'll likely spend the rest of your days rotting away in this cell. And then when the time comes, you'll be dragged off to the chair. Day after day rolls by, and the reality of this place starts to set in. You're surrounded by people, yet you still feel lonely. No one here cares about you. Everyone here has the same problem you have, but there's still no sympathy. After a few days, however, you start to adjust. You make some small talk with one of the guards, you begin to find your place amongst your inmates, and you start to think, maybe living like this isn't so bad. As the court date approaches, you start to think more and more about it. You think more and more about that chair, more and more about the judge. You think how unfair it all is, how no one told you these crimes were a death sentence. You were just having fun, but these thoughts and worries are promptly interrupted by a man entering your cell. The man is offering you a deal. He says he has your best interests in mind, and that with him, there's a way you can get out of this. There's a way you can show the judge your side of the story. The man says there are enough eyewitness testimonies and cuts in the system that he could get you out of this. He could get you out of that chair and back into the real world, a better neighborhood, a cleaner house. He just needs you to admit your crimes in court and sign the dotted line. But you decline. He begs you, he pleads with you that this deal is a deal worth taking, and this is the only way out of that chair, yet still you say no. Because you've got your own plan. You know enough about the system to fight for yourself. You can handle this. You tell the man, I won't end up in that chair, pal. I've got this under control. I don't need you. The man looks down at his feet. He tells you you weren't the only one who thought that. Plenty of others have tried on their own. You look him in the eyes and tell him for the last time, no. The man reluctantly leaves the cell and talks with the guard for a few minutes before walking down the hall. The inmates congratulate you. They tell you that you're better off this way, and with a confident smile, you head to your cot and bed in for the night. Months go by, and you're beginning to forget that deal the man offered you. But as the court date draws closer, you begin to remember. A part of you worries you made the wrong decision, that you can't handle it on your own, but you shake that off. You remind yourself how much you know. You know the system inside and out. You were just a kid just having some fun. Nobody told you it was wrong. Anybody, even a dumb judge, could figure that out. You keep telling yourself that, and for a while, it works. You begin to take it all as fact, but the date keeps coming closer and closer. And in the last few weeks, your inmates aren't so supportive. Some of them even take the deal the man offered you. You and some others laugh. You tell them they're wasting their time, but you begin to doubt even more. This time it takes a more convincing argument to tell yourself you have things under control. You didn't know it was wrong. People on the outside have done far worse. You don't belong here, and anyone would see that. After a few more days of suppressing your fears, you finally come out on top, just knowing that you'll dodge the chair. You feel confident once again, just in time for the sentencing. You enter the courtroom. You take a look at the judge and then take your seat. After a few moments, all confidence is lost. You have no time to defend yourself. Anything you say just worsens the argument against you. The trial goes on. An eternity has passed while the clock only reads an hour. Nothing anyone says reaches you. Your mind is jumping from action to action. Eventually, all you can think of is that chair. You can already feel its effects. You're already dead. The judge just has to say those words, the only words that reach you. Hour after painful waking moment, the only words that reach you, even after all the nonsense to pass you by. After all the drowned out accusations and defenses, the only words that reach you, sentenced to capital punishment. You start quaking, at first in fear but then in anger as men grab you by the arms and start hauling you off. But you begin crying tears of hatred. All you want is to kill the judge, but by now, you've been taken too far from the courtroom. But there's no time to think, you can't think. The next hours go by in a blur. There's no yearly wait, no delays, this is happening right now. And before you know it, you're lying in that chair, numb, angry, and hopeless as you begin thinking about the man, thinking about how it could have been different. But before you have any more time to think,